get our ass kicked. They plaster me all over there, call me all types of names. The New York Times writes a story about me, calling me crazy, calling me this. I'm a con artist, all that. We still win. You know why? Because that gang got me on the phone with Michael Strahan, and now I'm talking to you. I love it when a plan comes together.
What's good, everybody? This your boy Sledge, the People Champ, checking in, and this is This One For Us podcast. I got somebody special with us today. Man of many hats. Some of them might call you different names. Some of them might not be names that you like. But I'm gonna call him Roy Johnson, man. How you doing today?
I'm blessed. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Roy, let's talk about. So, the first thing you're here for, you are the head coach of Bishop Sycamore, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Bishop Sycamore was okay. Bishop Sycamore is the school that went viral for quote unquote being, how can we say this, fake.
Yeah, that's what the liberal media wanted to portray.
After all the games, after all the Facebook talk, after all the stuff that we see, at the end of the day, what we want is the truth.
Well, I don't lie about anything I can prove, so.
Correct. Oh, well, excuse me. Before we go into the meat and the potatoes and everything, how did that thought in your mind of let me try to start a school even started?
The AME Church wanted, they had an economic development program that they wanted to help improve black neighborhoods, the urban community. And so, which I think every African-American black person who's worth anything would tell you, you start at education.
Correct.
And so one of the things that I think a lot of people forget, and this is not a knock on Columbus, is just if you were here for Columbus for a long time, you still have a cowtown mentality. But the reality of it is Columbus is, 10th, 12th largest city in the country.
I think it's like 15th or something.
Sure,
like
15th, let's take that.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about a really big city. And one of the things is parochial, perennial, religious, high school sports, black powerhouse is just a city that doesn't have it.
Okay.
You have New York, you can go to St. Louis, you can go to Miami, you can go to Baltimore, Texas, you have that. So AME being a large church, they wanted to have an education program. I'm like, you should have the most dominating sports.
So what made them call you?
It was a relationship that I had with one of the elders there and some other people that went there, and they were like, hey, if it's possibly done, we know a guy that can figure it out. So they brought us in.
AME Church, they were on board with getting education to inner city kids or kids that don't have what they should have, basically.
Correct. Or take advantage of the inner city athletes that are there and bring them into your school and then make some money off it. No different than the Catholic schools do now. I tell people all the time, how many niggas you know is Catholic? But then you go watch a Catholic school and it's full of black dudes on the team, right? So the only thing I was doing is keep it in your own backyard, a concept that black people have a problem with.
Okay.
See, we were all Jewish, this wouldn't be a problem. For again, Jewish people do business with the Jewish people. Brothers don't understand that concept. And it's not their fault, right? I say it all the time. It's over history, Jim Crow, right? If we in place these things, it's taken 500 years to figure it out. So you mix that up with the fact that all the real niggas went to prison and everybody left was raised by crackheads and single mothers, and this is what you get.
I mean, I can't be mad at that.
It's a fact.
You have a point. You have a point.
That's the problem.
So with the AME Church and they talk to you, at what point was football number two?
Beginning.
Not number one, because education is what you're saying was number one.
No, sports are always number
so
one.
Sports was always number one.
The avenue to put people into college is always number one. How you gonna pay for it?
Sports.
Yep, that's how you know.
So what did you tell them? What made you say what was your sell pitch?
If you want to help these niggas, you need to open a school.
And what did they say?
That's a great idea.
So now we opening a school, we getting the curriculum, we're getting the sports. Now what's the next step?
Before that, you have to find some land and where you're going to build the school.
Correct. So was the school ever built?
The land was just cleared and they ran all the stuff. They started to build it.
They started to build it. So where did they start to build it at?
Right down the street from Easton, between Easton and the airport.
My question is this. So when you figured out there wasn't no school, because I'm pretty sure they told you first, what made you keep going?
Well, when they said that they didn't want to be associated with or whatever the case may be, at this point we had 60 young men from all over the country.
Hold on. Where did you get these 60 young men from?
I recruited them from all over the country.
So you recruited all these people without a school?
No, the school existed. The school was there.
The school was there in spirit, or the school was there as a...
The school was there and registered with the state. And,
so you had to register, you just didn't have no building. So
we did have a building.
Well, it was being built.
Right, the building was being built, but where they made for the classes and stuff was a building. It existed.
So where did they have these classes at?
There was 2 different places. We had them at a library, and the other place we had them was a school that was attached to the church.
Okay, so as a parent, and this is just me being a parent, if I can't, did they go on tours and things of that nature?
All the above.
So the parents seen this shit. Mm-hmm. So the parents knew. Mm-hmm. So why? We'll get there. Continue.
Why did the parents what?
No. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. So when you said you could recruited 60 kids from all over. Phone calls, went to their crib, all that. Just like a regular college recruiter, but you did it for high school kids.
I want to correct you. Not like a regular recruiter, like all the private schools do now to the hood. No different.
Okay. I'll give you that, because I would be sitting here lying if I didn't say people, we got went to Eastmore, then he went to Hartley. So I'll sit here and lie and say, ain't nobody probably pulled down on him to try to talk to him. That's
I don't know what did or didn't do. Mm-hmm. All I know is that the students that I was with, my brother and myself, were recruited by Catholic schools and private schools. That's what they do. They don't have middle schools.
Right.
So
that's what they have to do.
Yeah. So I don't know why everybody is, you know what I mean? I'm with you. I don't know why everybody has this thought process like, oh, recruiting doesn't happen. So that's the real issue. The real issue is, again, the Ku Klux Klan and the slave masters at OSHA run around and say, oh, this, that, blah, 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 blah. There's no recruiting, all that, but then there's recruiting. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Like,
because at one point,
how else do you get people in the school? And that's why I look at brothers, that's why they're foolish. This is the same organization that decided to take away the GPA requirement. The same organization that goes into inner city schools and says, hey, as long as you have 5 Ds or 4 or 5 Ds or whatever it is,
you gotta have a 2.0.
No, you don't.
No more. So what's the OSHA requirement now?
0. There is no requirement.
Get the hell out of here.
You can look it up. I never lie about something I can prove. Hold on.
So how can we play football?
I'm explaining. You have to have 5 Ds on the quarter before. You don't have to have a GPA. So your GPA wouldn't be 2.0 if you had 5 Ds. That'd be 1.0.
1.0.
Right, correct. So it goes back to what the sister said. How are you putting people in situations not to just get to college, but to be successful when you get there? Because there's a clear education gap. This is all the stuff that I brought up. So I'm like, hey, how do we solve these problems within the organization that we have? This is how we solve these problems. We look at this, we look at that, we look at online, we look at tutoring, we look at putting them in the best situation for them to get an education and then put them in a situation where they can be successful. That's proven in the 19 D1 players that eventually came out. All the other stuff in between is just jargon and news and accusations and Facebook talk.
So how many kids did you have in your team? 60.
The first one, 60.
60. Out of those kids, how many games did y'all play?
The first year, 11.
Where did y'all practice?
Obets.
In the lacrosse stadium.
Yeah. Well, we practiced on a football fields next to it, but yeah.
Okay. How were they getting to practice?
A bus.
And they still had to, and you said these kids came from out of town.
Mm-hmm. So they came from New York, Detroit, Kentucky, California, Florida, North Carolina.
And where these kids were staying?
They were staying in a hotel, and then they stayed in some apartments.
Okay, so at what point did you figure out that, and this is just me as a parent, or not even a parent, this is just me as a person. What point did you figure out, like, hey, these kids need a place to stay that's not hotel or any of that nature? Like, why were we starting a school where we don't have a place where these kids can sleep?
We did. A hotel.
Okay, so you had a hotel.
Correct. Have you ever been to JUCOs before? The hotels that they was at was high class hotels. It was better than JUCO.
But those aren't hotels. Those are like dormitories that were hotels at one point.
Those are disgusting. Have you ever been to JUCO? They were staying in high, nice hotels. Like this, like the hotels were better than most people living situations at all.
So basically,
and then they went from there to apartments in Canal Winchester again, which were nicer than where they were staying.
Yeah, but there's okay. So why is this? So let me ask you this: why is the school so far away from where they're sleeping at?
What do you mean?
Because basically what you're making was a prep school.
Correct. They call it that, except we had a high school curriculum and high school approval.
So what do you call it?
What I opened up was called an NCNT school, which is a non-charter, non-tax school, which this school means as long as I provide an education, we can kind of do what we want, kind of like the neo-Nazis do in Sandusky, right? They open up a school and they raise up people to go and kill niggas. But ain't nobody going to go chase them. We worried about it.
I mean, because,
right, because we worried about me playing football.
I'm about to say, there ain't nobody, if they was playing football, I mean, we probably would have been. I mean, football's America's sport.
Yeah, exactly. And they're playing football. They own America's sport. Yeah, I said a Nazi.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Homeboys, like, I'm talking about Nazis. I'm saying it.
I feel what you're saying, but nobody gives a damn.
Exactly,
nobody gives a damn until football. Like, football is America's sport.
Yes.
So if you think about this,
I agree with you 100%.
like, people don't care. Like, so people don't care about what they're doing in Sandusky. But
right, but I'm saying you should, because everything else that I was doing was playing football, playing within the rules, getting these kids into college. I just didn't do it the way that people are used to seeing it.
So you found a loophole.
I didn't find a loophole. I just did what other schools were doing. So you have prep schools all over the country. The only thing that I did differently was join up with a church and then make it online, which we all know proved to be something that I can do because COVID happened and everybody was online. I was just ahead of the curve. Now, people want to be mad at me because I was smart enough to be ahead of the curve. That's not my fault.
So if you're smart enough to be ahead of a curve, which, I mean, at the end of the day, we all did have to go online. Why didn't you, like, sell this to anybody? Or why didn't you, like... I guess what your original thought doesn't really sound bad to me. I just think it's just bad planning.
The planning was great. You should take a look at it. Buildings, architects, all of that. The church just decided to pull out and do what niggas do.
So the church, the AME church is a nigga church. Mm-hmm. So why did they pull out?
Because they had their own legal issues that were going on. They decided to pull out.
But when they pulled out, you continued.
Yeah, they had left. They had pulled out, paused, and then when they did that, I was stuck with these kids, so I had an option.
You had to, yeah.
I had an option. So, right, you know what niggas would have done?
Send their ass back.
See that? Couldn't do that. And so,
but why not though? Because I mean, let's be real here.
I'm being real. I couldn't do that.
Why though? Because you don't have the beans.
Hold on a second. Because that was their last chance. That's why the people that got interviewed from there, that was like, hey, I had nowhere else to go. My guy made sure I was good, played games, and then got me into college. I had nowhere else to go. So some of them agree with that. People agree with that. People don't. I just tell you this. If I was in that situation, I would be happy that somebody said, you know what? I'm going to get this bread. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure that you eat.
Hear me out. So now we're at a point where we don't have no educational backing. Now it's just
the education is backing.
Well, nobody backing, no school backing.
The school was backed. We also had a building.
Well, you said they moved out. You said they pulled away.
Right, and when they did that, I found another facility for them to go to.
So you found them another facility to go to.
And then they went to school. And then guess what? They graduated, they got their credits, and then they went to college. It just wasn't traditional. It just wasn't your traditional brick and mortar school building, which, by the way, looks like a prison. Centennial has no windows. Half the schools ain't got no air conditioning, and you niggas pointing at me like, oh, you had no building. I had a building with air conditioning.
So where was this building at though?
We literally went to Columbus Library, the new one that was built right there on Hamilton Road, and I said, hey, I have kids that are part of an NCT program. Lady in there was like, that's great. Because of that, you're entitled to use two rooms. Two of the big rooms. Yeah. So they had big rooms, air conditioned, next to Big Boys, which by the way closed, but we used to go there for breakfast, all you could eat grits. Yeah, tear it up. All this was provided.
So you had these kids on a regiment of basically school and football.
Correct. If you go to the Instagram page, you can actually see them going to the class and pictures and all that. It's funny because the one guy in there, Kadeem, just got his master's from college and played football 4 years, and somebody interviewed him. He was like, it was the best decision I made because it put me in a situation where I could go play football, I could get my grades up, and now I have my master's.
So let's fast forward. Fast forward. Because basically what you're saying is when they pulled out, you still had the formula, correct?
Correct, but more importantly, I still was obligated to young brothers to make sure I could do everything I do to make sure that situation, regardless of what happened, how bad it was.
So what did they use on laptops? Did they use
Graduation
Work
Alliance.
Keys, Graduation Alliance,
Correct.
IXL?
Graduation Alliance.
And then they didn't have no physical teacher. They just had
Graduation Alliance, comes with a physical teacher.
They just see it online.
Exactly.
Okay. Where did you get the coaches?
I had 3 coaches from a college. I don't know if they want me to say it or not, but I had 3 coaches that previously coached in college. Those 3 coaches are now coaching in college again. And I had about 5 or 6 parents that had football experience, played in college, that coached too.
Okay. I know some of your coaches.
I hope you do.
I do. What made you, and I'm about to shit on them because they ain't my guys, but what made you hire them?
For the first school, COF? Is that what we're still talking about? Or are you talking about coaches overall?
Oh, so okay. So let's talk about COF.
It wasn't like I had one set of coaches that were there for 5 years.
Okay, so let's talk about the first set of coaches. Mm-hmm. Why did they leave?
Because the school closed.
Okay, so
COF
now
stopped. So then they went back and coached college.
And they went back and coached college somewhere else. And then those kids that were in COF are not the same kids that were in your documentary.
No, that's
4 years. That's,
yes, 4 years.
So
different.
Basically,
the coaching staff was a different coaching staff.
Right. So Bishop Sycamore was quote unquote legit for how long?
2019, 2020, 2021. So 4 years.
4 years. And y'all ended up.
The reason I'm saying 4 years because people are like, oh, you only count 3 is because when you start the school the way we did ours, you're starting the year before, which gives us that extra time. So if Bishop Sycamore was legit for so long, so y'all played football all 4 years, all 4 seasons. I'm gonna say seasons. Yeah,
all 4 seasons, and y'all played.
So the freshmen that started with us graduated.
We're seniors.
That was their senior season. Right?
So let's scratch that out. Let's throw that away. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about what got you here to this limelight.
Okay.
We're on ESPN.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are playing against IMG, which is top 2, top 3 ranked programs for kids going in D1 in the country. Mm-hmm. What made people look you guys up and say, hey, this ain't no real football team?
The 58-0 loss, national television.
When you went in there, this is not the first time y'all played IMG, though.
No, we
right?
played them the year before.
And how bad did y'all lose?
58-14.
Jesus Christ.
Well, and here's the thing. It was really 58-35, and I'm gonna have you check with somebody to make sure that's accurate because they called back like 3 touchdowns that they shouldn't have.
Oh, then I ain't got nothing to do. What's the box score say?
I know, but I just want to make sure I brought that up. I just want to make sure I brought
box
that
score
up. I just want to make sure I brought that up.
Niggas is holding. We can't control that.
Listen, I just want to make sure I brought that up.
So you play IMG.
Yeah.
You lose 58-0. Mm-hmm. What is going on in the mind of Roy Johnson? Because listen, I know for a fact, y'all. And let's just be realistic. It's a new time, so we have our phones on the sideline. We do check our phones at halftime. I know y'all seen it going in an uproar because I remember watching that game only because some of my friends was and I say this, they are my guys. They were coaching, so I'm going to support them. And I knew a kid that was on the team, so I'm going to support them. But I know you seen everything. Mm-hmm. What was going on in your head?
Let's try to put some points on the board.
All right.
That's like I don't see people are trying to this, and this is part of it that people don't understand. People making comments and saying what they're saying wasn't going to affect.
Wasn't going to affect anything that you had to do.
No, because the summer before we had went on tour for 4 months, 3 months, I should say.
And y'all was going to different camps and everything.
So I knew I had a team full of D1 guys that had their offers. They just needed film. IMG beats everybody by that.
Oh, right? I'm not even taking that away.
Yeah. So when people were making comments like, "Can you believe they're getting beat that bad?" I was thinking to myself, I wonder how bad they're going to beat LaSalle next week, which is a perennial Ohio State champion. And then they went and scored 99 points on somebody. So I'm like, man, it must be a bunch of fake schools.
I'm about to say there might be a lot of
schools.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. So after the game, what happened?
We packed up the equipment. They were really sad.
He said we packed up the equipment.
Well, yeah, we packed up the equipment. That's what you do when you're about to leave. Like,
let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Like,
so we packed up the equipment.
Did you see some of them tweets? It was like, federal fraud dude is on the road on the field. I was like, they were saying stuff that I didn't know existed, right?
But they had your picture. They had your picture of you drinking water.
Bro, when they had that thing squirting in my mouth, pause.
Whoa, wait, yo.
And I was like, I didn't see that part, but there's people that were affiliated with the team that's real G's, right? So I was getting the ooh because I was looking at my phone like
this is crazy,
like fraud, everything else, and I was like, so we in Canton too, so I was like, just the name Canton sound like a place you don't want to be. And I was like, man, just like, we got to roll.
On that drive home, y'all drove a charter bus home. So
no, they drove a charter bus home.
So what you do? You drove your car home.
No, I drove somebody else's car.
That's
my
fine.
My place can be tagged. Like,
True. No. I was like, true.
I was like, hey, sis, I need a ride. She was like, what? Yeah.
So you drove
She
home.
drove. I did not drive.
She drove home.
Mm-hmm.
What was the discussion in the car?
My father used to always say, and he didn't teach me much, but he taught me this: always sit in silence and pause before you make a reaction. 2.5 hours, sat back in the chair, put on that Ready to Die, listen to that. Then I put on Life After Death, listen to that. And then when I got home, I had a plan.
So what was your plan?
I'm about to take this joke and be on HBO, one of these mugs, right?
So now it becomes something that you were passionate about to now it becomes a joke. And that's what it looks like to us on the TV screen.
And it should. That was the point of being on TV screen, because people don't want to buy the truth. People don't want to buy what's actually going on. People don't want to look at
Well, people don't want to buy what's actually going on, but we will love to know what's actually going on, because at the end of the day, let's be realistic. You're an adult. At this point, you really shouldn't care what people from different, if it ain't your intermediate family, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, that's easy to say, right? But the reality of it, you do, right?
I mean, you do, but you also.
I was even concerned when I came in, and a young lady was like, "I saw the documentary." I'm like, "Yeah, don't believe everything that you see."
But you got to excuse her though. She's
not at all.
She gonna make sure she gonna get you, but she does it with love.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't even mind that, right? We're past verbiage at this point. I done heard everything you could possibly hear. Everything, you name it, everything that people can say, I've heard. So that, you know what I'm saying, I can take, no homo. So really for me, it's about finding out the amount of information that's out there.
Right.
And then giving a chance to people to explain, like, hey, this is what happened here, this is what happened there, and I want to make sure that, I get a chance to explain that to them.
So you basically, but you just told me I'm about to get on HBO. So it's now, what are you thinking about when it comes to these kids?
They'll be straight. They all got offers.
Okay.
They knew that. I talked to. So most of them for Cali. So you got to remember the situation. A lot of people don't realize this. California, which can't control shit, right? California shut down high school football the year of COVID.
Right.
So all these dudes had senior years ready to go, and in the process of them ready to go, they had nowhere else to go. So for them, they were like, you brought us up here, you didn't charge us nothing, you took us to camp all summer long. Free for us to get re-looked at. We got these offers. We cool. Coach, don't worry about it. That was the arguments and stuff that you were seeing on Instagram and everything else, man. Because the brotherhood knew the bigger picture.
Or they thought your school was a fraud.
Or they could have looked up the fact that it wasn't. It wasn't. That's my point. All of this is being said, and it wasn't. If it was a fraud, then how did somebody go through our school from 9th grade to 12th grade and then go to college? If it was a fraud. If it wasn't real school, how did they end up in college? You mean to tell me all these colleges said, oh man, you went to Bishop Sycamore, you can't go to school. No, they said that because Trill said on his thing he lost his scholarship to Grambling. You lost your scholarship to Grambling because you didn't do the work you were supposed to do. You know how I know? Because there's other people on the team that are playing D1 right now. That's what they were saying, like, hey man, that wasn't all it. Now, was it perfect? Of course it wasn't perfect.
I don't expect nothing to be perfect. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you got back, you feel me, and they canceled all your games. Now what's going on in your head?
Other teams wanted to play, and I was just tired of it. I'm like, yo, all y'all are straight.
So you canceled the whole season?
Yeah, people start the real G's kept us on the schedule. So St. Thomas More.
So y'all played more games?
No, we didn't. St. Francis Academy, they kept us on the only ones that.
Because I thought it was gonna kick your ass.
Yeah. Okay. So the people that canceled right when they started canceling, they started canceling. A couple schools that canceled. And I was like, hey, look, don't even worry about it. Y'all straight.
Right.
And we had a meeting, had all the parents together, everybody together.
So the parents came. So how did they all got back? The parents came and picked them up.
Yeah, that team was different. That team, the team that we're talking about now, is the team that never was. Man, that team, hands down, top to bottom, was the best team. We only made one mistake as far as an organization. We had we had a brilliant coach, and the coach left.
So why did he leave?
Because I ain't shit. Shouldn't let him go. So
you fired him.
I didn't fire him. It was just better for him to, go to the situation. And we effed up. And had I had that coach, this whole conversation would have been different.
So let me ask you this question. Do you feel like a lot of the reason why the downfall is because of you?
I'm always going to feel that way.
And I ain't talking about Put it like this.
The downfall was because the game didn't turn out the way it is. The downfall is because I played.
But the game wasn't going to turn out the way it is regardless, though. Like you even said it.
You can't say that. The reason it turned.
You lost last year.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, had I kept the coach.
Okay.
Had I did what we were supposed to do, had I played him at the end of the year and not played him on ESPN, we'd still be doing.
So what did ESPN? What did ESPN call you guys? Did they call you and say, "Hey, we're gonna put you on ESPN"?
More or less. Nobody else in Ohio wanted to play him because we didn't.
I get that.
I don't.
I do.
Why?
Because I don't want to be embarrassed on national TV. All you seen was an opportunity to say, "Hey, I can get kids to come to this school still."
Right, and it's more importantly, it was an opportunity for them to get exposure
to see what they can see on the outside,
which I talk about all the time. Which is why Armand Scott ended up getting an offer because they were like, they seen him take a 9 round. And it was like, hey, if you can do it against them, we like it. And so that part of it, there was film in there. So the thing is, for Ohio, and I don't even like to too much mention his name because I don't even want people to think we're associated because we're not. But, that's why Ted Ginn went and took him on because, I'll take that smoke. Like I respected LaSalle, even though they lost worse than us. LaSalle went to go play him. You know what I mean? So you want to play the best to be the best. Now, if you are a 500, I just want to win and go play locally, then that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with average. The planet's full of average people. Right, so I don't look at you as a coach and say, "Hey, I'm the head coach of Thomas Worthington." That's a bad example because they hired a coach that was like less than 500, so they clearly don't want to win. But if another school that tries to win, you know what I mean. So I'm not mad at you for trying to go out there and expose the best. You look at Massillon, right? Powerhouse, historically, look at their schedule. You know what I mean? They're playing overseas. They're playing in Oregon. So you look at somebody like Coach Moore, which is like, I want to make sure you give them the best experience that we can within our resources. And I think that's a wise thing to do. So that's why you play football. It's just like me and you, right? I have no beef with you. You always gave me a shot to speak, so I respect that. But if we put on boxing gloves, I'm not about to be I'm going to try to,
You're going to try to do.
And I was, knowing you as an athlete, you would try to do the same thing, right? You know what I mean?
So you're by any means necessary really meant by any means necessary.
Sometimes without breaking the law, because I would never break the law.
How are you feeding these kids, man?
We had food coming in. What you mean?
So you had food coming in. So were you guys like a non-profit or anything of that nature? So you had people donating food to you guys, and
donating food, buying food. We had people that would come to the program and help. We had a cook and all that.
You had a cook and all that. So how were they getting paid? Because somebody got to get paid around here.
No, they don't. You were doing it for the cause.
He said, no, they don't.
You're doing it for all you Christian people out there. They were doing it for jewels in their crown.
They was doing it, because they was being servants.
Yeah, and be putting jewels in their crown, and they should.
We're going to take a commercial break.
We just
getting started. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let me ask you this.
Yes,
let's just fast forward. Let's get to the meat and the potatoes of this conversation.
Okay.
HBO hit you up. What did they say? Because you already been paid now, so you can go ahead. You ain't got
I was not paid.
Okay.
So Michael Strahan.
Shit.
He called and he was just like, we would like an opportunity for you to tell your side of the story, blah, 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 blah. And so I sat down with them. They did what you did. I explained everything that happened. They looked at all the documents and they were just like,
we can't do nothing with this.
Yeah, he was like, this whole thing was blown out of proportion.
Because you got blown out.
Yeah, he was like, and all the stuff that people are saying doesn't line up with documents, what this is saying, that is saying. And it was funny because if you take a look at it, the state of Ohio has said that according to the current way the law stands and rules are, Bishop Sycamore can continue to function and run as a school.
So you got proof that you're able to run it as a school?
Hey, you want me to show you?
Yeah. Oh shit! He came prepared.
Yeah, I tell people, listen, you don't got to believe me because I might lie to you, right? I'm a human being. Listen. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, and I'm at the top of that list. But certain things you have to be able to understand about what's going on and what's not going on, and what happens is with people they get offended because they're like, this guy is arrogant, this guy is this guy is that, but that's just the way that it is. And I'm not proud of a lot of the things that I did. Did it go off?
Oh, I'm reading. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, that's cool. So, as the way it stands under the law. Now, if they change the law, which they won't, because then they would have to close up all these Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazi schools.